Hello guys, and welcome back to Macadel Online Training. My name is Nita, your physical and online instructor. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Do so, show me some love. Click on the like button and also subscribe if you haven't. Alright, and click on your notification bell icon so that when I upload DIY videos like this, you will get to watch. Okay, thank you for joining me. So today we're going to be making the you know this height, this agbada kind of designed outfits. That's what is on your screen right now, that a lot of people are wearing. I think actress Messi Ibe wore it first, and people have been making it. All right, so mine is with a twist, right? I felt like combining a fabric to it and then making it fitted to my body with pockets, just like what I'm wearing, and a kimono sleeve, like not agbada, like very loose, right? But I want it fitted to my body. Okay, so that's basically what you're going to be making today. All right, so I've taken a liberty. You know how to draft your pattern. If you don't, please check some previous videos. I would likely put a link here so you can go check how to draft your pattern. So you're just drafting your basic pattern for like a kimono. Why we have to draft a pattern is because we are attaching a different fabric to it. Like I said, that's how I'm making it. And if you don't want to attach a different fabric to it, still follow the process, right? Now, because I'm making it fitted to the body, I am working with pattern drafting. It's not a freehand cutting. So if it's a freehand cutting, we'll be doing it differently. But because we are drafting a pattern, we're doing it in the pattern format, all right? So I'm having my full length, and this is how my pattern is. Can you see that? Like I said, it's a kimono, so there's not going to be any joining here. Now, this part is going to be on fold. On fold means there is not going to be any joining at this point. Now, I made my neckline the back. So the top part is the back neckline, and this is the front neckline. I'll actually show you how to cut all this, all right? Then I'm going to have a slit at the front up to this point. You can design yours anyhow you want. It is a free dress, right? So I can actually put it in through my head. It's actually free. You can wear it. So you can decide to put this, and you can decide not to put the slit, all right? So I think I used 4 by 3.5 for the front, 4 across, 3.5 down, and 4 across, 1.5 for the back. All right, you can do less, you can still do 3.5 because you have an opening at this point. So just work with your basic pattern. All right, so now I have my basic pattern. Now the dress, all right, has pleats on the shoulder pattern, right? So we are going to be pleating. It's a very simple outfit. So what you're doing is just pleating this and pleating this. That's basically what we're trying to achieve. This is it. But I haven't added that here, and like I said, I'm using a different fabric. So I now want to add the parts I'm going to pleat. So this is where we are going to alter our pattern. All right, so my pleat is going to be starting, for me, I divided my shoulder into 2, right? So find where your shoulder measurement stops. This is where my shoulder measurement stops. So from my neckline here, from my neckline to my shoulder, I looked for the midpoint. You can actually start at the edge of your shoulder to add your extension for pleat. It depends on what you want. I didn't want you to start at where my armhole is. I wanted it to start a bit before my armhole. So I decided to divide my shoulder into 2, and I'm using the midpoint. So from my neck, like my unfold, to where I am using is 6 inches. You can decide, like I said, just divide your shoulder into 2, all right? So I'm going to mark the 6 inches at different points. So I've marked it to the end of my the length of my outfit. Okay, so I'm going to extend that into a straight line. I have actually extended that into a straight line. Like I said, if you want to start the pleat from here, you can as well, you know, run it from this point. Okay, so it all depends on what you want. So I'm going to be having one at this point, and I'm going to be having the other at my shoulder point as well. So this line I have drawn here is going to take care of one of my pleats. All right, now please go listen well, and then you can watch this video over and over to understand what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so this line I have chosen to start, like I said, you can as well start where your shoulder line is, but I chose to start between my shoulder that I said you should mark. Okay, so this line is going to take care of one of my pleats. Now if I have a pleat here, which is going to be, you can choose between 5 inches to 6 inches to 7, to how wide you want it to be. All right, so I'll be working with 5 inches because I just want a 5 inches pleat, which by the time I pleat it like this, so if I pleat 5 inches like this and I'm sewing at this point, I'm going to have a 2.5 inches width of pleats. That's what I mean. Okay, so if you want this place to be wider than this, probably you want it this wide, the more you want, the more you extend it. If you take like 7 inches, you're going to be having 3.5 inches of width of pleat. So I'm going to be doing 5 inches. All right, now if I'm doing 5 inches, that means I'm going to be having 2.5 inches width of pleat. So from this line I have marked, I'm going to measure the just follow what I'm doing and you will get it. Okay, I'm going to measure my 2.5, where I'm going to be fitting in my next 5 inches pleat that is going to fall towards. So the other next one that I'm putting here is going to be lying towards my shoulder, like off my shoulder, which is the way I want it to be. Okay, so you're going to now find from here, you're measuring 2.5. You're going to measure the same 2.5 all the way down and draw a line. All right, so I now have 2 lines of pleats. All right, so now we are going to apply what we call a slash and spread. Okay, now what I intend, okay, I will actually, let's do the slash and spread and fixing the extension, the pleat extensions that we need to. Okay, so we're going to be cutting through the first line. Okay, all right, so this is the first one I've cut, and I'm going to be adding an extension to it. So I just took another straight piece of paper and I'm going to I'm just trying to arrange it. So once you've been able to put it, you're now going to, from the line, remember that I still have this line showing, you're going to mark out your 5 inches. If you're using more than 5 inches, please mark out as much as you're using. So from here, so I'm marking out my 5 inches. Okay, so this is going to be my first pleat, but before we put it back, I'm going to also slit open, remember the second line, so we're going to keep this aside. And you're slitting open the second line. I'll take another piece. I'm also creating an extension. You can actually create it from any side. You can also create it from this side. Any one you want. I can actually paste this. I can use this, whatever you want. Okay. So maybe I'll just work with this. That's the other piece that we also cut off. We're going to also line it up like we did the other one and put your paper tape on it. Do the same thing. And I'm going to mark the same 5 inches, right? So depending on whatever you're using, you can mark whatever you're using. So from this line, I'm extending it by 5 inches. Okay. So once we've done this, remember we have we've splitted everything, and we're having 3 different pieces. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do, so that I can describe to you how everything, in case you want to make yours a full dress, right, without adding anything, like maybe having different fabrics like I want to. Okay, so now we're going to start taping everything back. All right, so I'm going to bring this to the line. You know, remember we came from here 5 inches. So for the 5 inches line, we're going to make everything back into one piece, like a whole dress, right? So sorry guys, I just need to make this stay on the table so we can put it together. So I've been able to put this side. So the next one I'm going to add on is the other side. I'll just put it in some places just to keep it down. So now, what this is going to look like, because I know by now you'll be wondering, so why all of this? All right, now this first 5 inches, we're actually going to find the midpoint. That's 2.5. Okay, let me get my pins and show you what this will do. Okay, so like I said, you fold it in the middle, right? So you find the middle point. Where you have the cuts will have to meet together, all right? So that's what I'm trying to do now. So wherever it meets, you're going to be stitching on it. That's when you get to the pin. So I just want to pin it and show you what it will look like. So I'm going to try to make sure that the lines meet. So I've folded and matched the first line. I'm going to do same to the second line as well. Alright, so I've been able to pin it down, so I can now open it again. Now, by doing what I have done, I have returned my dress back to normal, okay? So we are having this pleat. It's going to be going to this side. Okay. And we're going to have this going on top of it as well. Voila. So that's why I said it's as easy as that. So that's the dress, you know, we are trying to create. So you have your side showing a bit here. You have your sleeve. And you have, so this is the part I'm saying, if you want it more, like if you want the pleats more than this is a width of 2.5, right? If you want your width more than this, increase. I used 5, you can use 7, you can use 8. It all depends on how much. I'm using Ankara to make this. I don't want it to be too boogers, right? So I'm perfectly okay with this, right? So this is it. So if you're using the same fabric, all you need to do is trim out. I've added all my allowances for this already. My dress is ready. I'm having a pocket here, so I'm just making it like my normal dress, but I'm working with a pattern, right? But in my own case, I'm giving it a bit of twist. All right, I'm going to be having a different fabric here. I'm going to be having a different fabric here. I just want a bit of combination. Initially, I just wanted the center here to be two different fabrics, but I don't want a stitch showing at this point. That's why I decided to change my mind, okay? So that my stitch mark will be on the inside. It's not really going to show. So wherever I'm stitching, I'm joining this fabric to this fabric, it will not show, all right? So I'm going to be having mine as two different fabrics. So if you're having yours as one, please, when I fold it to cut, just fold the same way and don't divide your fabric. Just do the same 4-fold, place your pattern as straight as it is, and then cut it out. Just the only thing you're going to do when you're cutting out is mark point. It's always so that you know where you're folding at, and then you're stitching it all the way down. It's as easy as that. I'm going to just use a different fabric from this middle point, from here that way, and from here this way is a different fabric. So you're going to be having the pleat. This pleat will be a different fabric. This pleat will be a different fabric, and would flow. At the same time too, you can also decide to take all of the pleats only to be a different. That's the good part in doing pattern drafting. So I can decide that from here to here, all of it is going to be a different fabric, and here to here is going to be the same fabric. So pattern drafting gives you the liberty to play as much as you want with the fabrics. Okay, like I said, so in my own case, I'm changing the style. Like I want a different fabric here, I want a different fabric here. Yours, please just work with one fabric as usual, okay? So because of that, I'm going to be using this middle line. So I'm going to cut through. I've already labeled. I've told myself I'm going to add half an inch here. I'm going to have half an inch here because I'm going to be joining this back together to make it one whole fabric. All right, so that's just basically. So I'm going to cut through this, and when I'm cutting it, I will be adding my joining allowance. This actually may waste a lot of fabric, so a lot of people just stick to using the same fabric to do it. So here I'm going to also mark where I'm going to be putting my sleeve to. So I have 18 inches, my knee length is about 20 something. So I'm going to have my sleeve. My sleeve is actually going to be long. I really want a long sleeve, so I'll just notch where my sleeve is going to stop. All right. So you're adding a sleeve to it, so you create that. All right. So as it is, and you can also bring yours lower. It doesn't really have to be that up. I can as well decide to have a slit somewhere here. Okay. So our pattern is ready. Okay. And we'll be going over to a sewing class. So you also check my next video, and you're going to see how I'm going to put this together. It doesn't take time. It's as easy as it looks. And please, you can watch this video again and again to understand it. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment for me, or leave your questions for me in the comment section right below, and I will get to respond to it. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Show me some love anyway, and turn on your notification bell icon or click on that notification bell icon rather, so that when I post videos like this and the sewing part, you'd get a notification that it's up and you can get to watch it. And please don't forget to make yours. Let me just see what you did. It's a form of encouragement to me too, and I can also learn from you. All right, so my name is Nita, and I remain your physical and online instructor, and I'll be seeing you in my next class.